Cheers to you as we gather together for a little creativity and, as always, some magic charged energy coming your way from the Happiness Navigator, Pollinator of Positivity. Yeah, that's me, Melissa Mojo B, your friendly woman wizard. And right away, we're going to get into this magic color changing concoction we have right here. And then we're going to get to painting a little forest, fairy, meadow scene somewhat like this. But I think this time we might put a toad or a frog on top of our mushroom and maybe a little moon scene. But right away, I think we'll get into this here, which is we're going to do a color changing thing here. This is Butterfly Pea Power. It's actually the flowers of Butterfly Pea Flower that makes this bright blue. In fact, I'm just going to run to the kitchen for a moment and get the original infusion from last night so you can see how brilliantly blue it is, and I've added a little bit of honey to it. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the sacred fun room at the TreeHive in the sky. Dharma's here with us as well, and I'm just gonna slip out and grab this other glass so I can show you. Come on in, make yourself comfortable, take a peek around. Always lots to look at the TreeHive in the sky. And I'm back already. Look at that. That was pretty quick, wasn't it? Okay, here's the original infusion. You can maybe see it's a little bit brighter blue because, as I say, I've already added honey to this here, and it had a couple ice cubes, but it took me a minute to get set up. So what happens is that once we add any kind of acid to this butterfly pea flower infusion, look how blue. This is nature's blue right here. Amazing. So we're going to do an experiment right here together with this lemon juice. I actually have this life hack where I squeeze a bunch of lemons and make them into ice cubes so I can use them at any point in time. And lemon ice cubes have been a huge game changer for me because I used to just cut a lemon and then what do you got? You got half a lemon sitting around and you don't get it squeezed. So now I just get the bag of lemons, I squeeze them all, I put them in ice cube trays, and then I just have a container with lemon ice cubes. So these have melted, but let's see how this butterfly pea flower elixir, see there's some flowers. Look at, this is natural blue coloring. You wouldn't even believe that something this blue would come from nature because it is really, really rare to get something that blue from nature. So these little flowers just infused and made that blue. But now as we add this acidic compound, the alchemy is that first of all, it actually makes it bioavailable for us. And the other thing that happens is, what the alchemy is actually like, the acid makes this better for us. Hi, Jen. Hi, Goldie. Hello, lovelies. Yeah, isn't that amazing how nature could make something this blue? I mean, blueberries are blue, but they're kind of purple. And so the thing about a lot of the blue stuff is once you add something that's acidic to it, it changes color. So we're going to do that right now. Are you ready? Look at what? And now I've made myself a magenta cocktail. It has honey in it, and it has what was this color, and now has color changed magically to this magenta. So this isn't actually blueberry. This is what is butterfly pea flower. And so it's this is, look at there's a little flower right there. It wants to show itself to us. You see it on the side of the cup, right about there. The light wants to get in the way. See, that's it. That's that. Look at, it's a little flower. It's a little flower that makes this blue, deep blue color. Isn't that amazing? What? I know, because you want to drink it because it tastes delicious. I'm going to drink it right now. So I had added a little bit of honey to this, and now it is some alchemy because I was reading about it today a little further, and the blue butterfly pea flower, it's a mouthful, flower power, is that it's an adaptogen that actually helps our nervous system and helps us feel a little bit more just happy and feel good. There's a lot more that I can go into about what this is good for, but the other part is that when we add that alchemy of a little lemon, or we've also used ascorbic acid powder, which is also fondly known as vitamin C crystals, so you can add that to it, or citric acid would work. Not my favorite to use citric acid, but anything really. Apple cider vinegar would also work. Anything with that acidic compound would change this blue from these beautiful flowers in here. That's all we had to do. This was an overnight infusion, and I just brought this in so that you guys can see what it looks like. And then we added lemon, just plain old lemon ice cubes to it, and now we have a magenta, a Magi's lemonade. Yeah. And so I don't drink alcohol, and it's so fun to play with elixirs, and they're so good for us. Like I say, I mean, if I had another device handy, we could go into, next time I'll just have it all written down. But this is an adaptogen, and you can go out and get adaptogenic drinks that are quite expensive in aluminum cans and just have a little bit of that adaptogen. This here is just power packed, and antioxidants and a bunch of other awesome stuff. And then you get to do an alchemy in front of your friends and be like, look, do you believe that I can change this from blue to magenta? Oh yeah. Yes, I can. Yes, we can. And it's just gorgeous. And as I say, when we add the acidity compound, it actually makes it work better in our bodies. So let's get to painting. Before I drink all of our lovely magenta cocktail, we'll leave our blue flower infusion over here just for a little inspiration. Speaking of inspiration, I've got some little stickers here that were giving me inspiration for what we should put on our next fairy meadow jar. So I'm just for everyone's sake, I'm showing us that we can all do stuff, you know, just have some fun, have some multi-passionate magic. You know, the fact is just being keen about it and having fun with it and seeing where it goes. I might add some magic morels in there. This was the last time we were doing one of these kind of sessions live, and so we're going to come back to that process and maybe get inspired by this little frog over here. See if we can get our little frog, and maybe something like this, a moon scene, a little moon meadow this time around. So let's get into it. And I'm just using some really accessible materials here. It's a mason jar, and just got a little spray paint of white paint on there. Scuffed it up a little bit so it looks a little antique-y, and there we go, ready to go. And then look at this. You might recognize this particular sticker from the dollar store. We have the stars of the show, our paint pens, 12 acrylic paint pens. So much can be done with these. In fact, I have a pair of jeans here that I did with 12 colors like that of a similar style. I'll just show you a sneak peek of those here. There they are. So amazing what we can do with simple materials, and I'm just here to encourage all of us to do a little more of what feels good, and sometimes that's getting into a little rainbow therapy with some paint pens that cost us next to nothing, but give us a heck of a lot of fun. Kind of want to turn up our music a little bit. Let's see. There we go. All right, let's get into it. Outlines are a great place to start, and that's why we love the black, don't we? Oh, there's something so important about the dark. It gets a bad rap, but we wouldn't be able to make our little simple masterpieces without it. In fact, life itself would just not be possible without the dark. That's where we plant our seeds. So I kind of like to start sometimes with just the mushroom. So let's just get in there. We're going to start with the mushroom with this as an inspiration, our little toad friend. Flower power, absolutely. All right, where are we going to start this one? Here. We're going to make sure that we have space for the toad, because sometimes, the frog, sometimes I get a tendency to just go a little bit high up on the thing. And we're also going to make this one not as wizard hatty as the last one. We're going to make this one a little bit more shallow, because again, we're taking this as inspiration. So we're just kind of looking and making something that's similar-ish. And then just we gotta leave space for our mushroom. What do you call this? A stem? A stalk? Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Okay. Now, we'll just do our little grass at the bottom. And this one here actually has lavender, so we'll be inspired by the lavender too. And add some, I think lavender has like more of some jaggedy edge bits, but anyways, we won't get ahead of ourselves. See, there's a little lavender. We'll take that inspiration, go in with that. Looks like we're just gonna shoot a few stalks up. Oop. Oop. And on this side, a little one in here, here, there, one there. Okay, that's where we're gonna put our lavender stalks once we get into that. So we'll use purple in there, obviously. And in here, we'll draw some little gills. And our spots. Some little ones. There we go. All right. So let's just get right into coloring it, because it's the most fun part. And then we'll add our little froggy on top. Let's get a base going. What shall we start with? We'll start with red. A little root chakra magic for you. Anytime you see me, you know that I am broadcasting some rainbow magic. And part of that is the knowledge of the chakra colors. And red is generally thought of as representing our root chakra. So that is always then a little bit of therapy for those areas. And so our root chakra represents fight or flight. It represents our sense of security, right? Stability, rootedness, our foundations. So anytime we're working with red, it's helping us feel more secure. It's increasing our connection with our foundation, making us feel more grounded. And it's just as simple as looking at it. It's like listening to the notes. There are also notes of the chakra, in case you didn't know. so amazing how much there is to learn in life. Let's get right into the green. Get some green. The green is representative of the heart. And the heart is where it's our center. It's at the center of our being. And how we come from our heart generally changes how we interact with the world around us. So working with the heart chakra, developing the skill to love deeply and also at the same time protect one's own wellness is very key. It's at the center of our universe, and the green color helps us work with that heart power. And then these little stems are going to be for our lavender, so we'll make them green with a little bit of black. There we go. Excellent, getting a good start. Let's get into those little lavender flowers and some purple energy. Purple is for the crown chakra, and it connects us to divinity, to that cosmic knowledge of everything that ever has been and ever will be. Little lavender beings here, creating some little friends in our fairy meadow moment together. Just taking this little meditative moment to shine our intentions out for the greatest good. One of the things that we do together here, the TreeHive in the sky, and also doing happiness navigation on location out in the world, just spreading a little joy like we do, fellow wizards. Multi-passionate magic. It's just about finding those things that we love. Maybe we didn't even know that we loved to paint on a mason jar until we do it, and then we go, hey, this is actually pretty fun. And you can put fairy lights in them and light them up. You can actually shellac these, and then you can keep them out in the garden even. Where would your fairy meadow be if you could take a trip somewhere and just inhabit a fairy garden for the day? Where would that be? Okay, are we gonna get brave and draw a frog on here? Okay, let's do it. I just like trying stuff. Maybe we should let this dry a little bit more. It's pretty dry. That's the great thing about this stuff. It dries really quickly. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Make sure our frog green is working well. I think we're good. Okay, he's got 4, 2, 3, 4. When you're just like, okay, we're just gonna draw a frog. I don't know how to draw a frog. Do you know how to draw a frog? Like, help me out here. I'm just guessing. I'm looking at the thing and then just going for it. I'm just going for it. I'm just gonna do it. You want to see my example? This is what we're going from. Let's see what happens. This is what multi-passionate magic making is all about. Just do it, see what happens. You might be surprised that you can draw a frog after all. I always kind of get these cute little arms and they like have a nice bend in them. Clearly been working out, this little frog. And his little knees come out somewhere around here. They seem like very green at the cap. Okay, same over here. Hey, look, it's starting to look a little bit like a frog. What do you think? All right. His arms continue up a little bit further. Same over here. He does have a little bit of a white belly, so we're gonna make sure we leave room for his white belly. And oh, I need the outline we were talking about earlier. I need the outline of the little guy. All right, we gotta go in there with the black pen. This black pen is not as fine as I'd like it to be, so we're just doing our best. Like I said, this is to just show we can work with any kind of materials. We just need to be patient and gentle and laugh at ourselves and and just do it for fun. Because guess what? Worst comes to worst, it's a mason jar. And it's probably going to look better after we add a cute little frog on a mushroom than it did before. So, like, can't go wrong now, can we? Really not really. Okay. And then he sort of has like, he's got a little throat here. Do I really want to do that full on with black? No, I don't. So I'm going to go like up and then out and then up. And his eyes, eye, across, another eye. And then his little cheeky again. Okay, the eyes, I'm gonna get them in there. How does this work? We'll put the eye like this. See, like I said, I'm not drawing a frog. How's this gonna look? We don't know till it's over. He's got like the longest mouth. It goes all the way across in the picture. Do you want to see what I'm looking at? There you go. We're gonna have to add the red, obviously. So first we're just like getting the outline done. We don't want him to look too unhappy. Definitely kind of want like a happy-ish frog. Okay, all right, we're getting there. Now, I think we need to add some more green. Now, this one has a lot of white in it, but I think we're gonna use like a green on green for this guy instead. We're gonna use a deeper green and the lighter green. So let's go in. Let's see. His eyes were like red around. First, a little green for his little head here. And then, like, see, this is how we can thin out this thick line, because we had these pens that are just not fine, not for fine art. These pens. But look, you can kind of shade. Oh, by the way, I should get closer, huh? Okay, all right, you're right. I should be closer. Okay, No, we'll leave some white here at his throat, because that seems like that makes sense. And also, honestly, they do kind of have that. See, you can shade when you touch the black. Okay. All right there, buddy boy. What are we going to call our frog, by the way? You get to name him. Okay, should we use some darker green? My sense is yes. My sense is yes. I think he wants a little darker green. Also, he wants a little green in here still, too. He's like, my belly's not that big, please. Are you sure, little guy? Okay, how about some... They had red around his eyes. I feel like that's gonna look weird, but it might be fun to try. What do you think? Like I said, these are not the finest of markers. Do I have my other fine markers? They're not really close by, but they're close enough I could reach them if I made the effort. Look at, he's coming together though. Okay, I do kind of want my other markers. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave this guy in rough cast, and then I'll probably come back and finish this in a second part and show you the fine details as we finish this. But we'll take this and we'll spin it around to the other side, and we'll do this one here that we were gonna do, like the little fairy meadow with the moon behind it. So we'll start with the moon. I think this is supposed to be gold, but we're not going to mess with that just now. We're going to use yellow. Again, best to outline. So let's get brave and get in there with the outline of a crescent moon. You think you can do it freehand? Let's do it. I believe in us. I believe in us. I certainly do. Okay, but this is going to be like a giant crescent moon. This is one of these super moons that everyone talks about. Okay. Oh yes, the music agrees. We can do it. This part's gonna dip down below the horizon a little bit anyways, and we're gonna fill that in. So that gives us a sense. And then, well, we're gonna have some mushrooms in front of it and other things. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna start just drawing the mushrooms on, so I have a sense, and then I can go over top of them with the paint, you see. So this is just giving us an idea of our spacing. And then this one was sort of a little bit bigger. We could make these mushrooms a little bit of a different color if we wanted to. What do you think about that idea? And we had some little daisy flowers in this one too. So maybe we'll put a daisy flower in over here. And another one, some kind of different one over here that's more a little bit like fluffies. Little fluffies. We're going to come back and color all this in. We'll use this as our spacing guide, essentially. And then over here, let's see about this kind of mushroom. What is that? It is kind of cool. Let's see. These are like sort of fluted flowers. And then another little fluted flower. And another little fluted flower. They're different looking. And then some grass. We're going to put some grass in there. Obviously, our meadow will have our grass all the way through. And who knows what we'll add. All right, let's get to coloring this little scene. it looks so messy. This is what I like about art, though. It's just like life looks so messy, but then you just keep going, and then something happens that makes things look more like how we want them to, right? From to okay, that's coming along. And it's just like I said, what's the worst that can happen? Your creative process, our creative process is far more important than a mason jar with a bit of white spray paint on it, right? So just have fun and play and enjoy the magic that is just color and the therapy that is just playing with color, because even as adults, it's really important for us to play. All, you know what they say, all work and no play, right? It makes us all dull girls and boys, and none of us want to be dull, but goodness sakes, the world can certainly make it that way when it's telling us, you know, you're not supposed to play, you're an adult. What do you mean I'm not supposed to play? We are exactly supposed to play. Yes, we are. We'll make some little moon dots here with our shading. We're coming down into the flowers area now. We're going to color them in a minute. See, our moon is sort of shining through the horizon here. Oh, there's our mushrooms. Okay, I'm in the middle of the mushroom. I don't have to color that part. There we go. Let's add a little bit more of that. And a dot here. And a dot there. We'll come back and we'll color that a little bit more after. What color should we make our fluted flowers? I feel like pink. Pink would be a good one. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Rainbow Will, saying you create so easily, bringing it to life so quickly. Well, it's a little bit, it could be, I could call it scary sometimes, because you do kind of feel like, oh my goodness, what if I mess this up? And you know, it's a really good challenge going live like this and having you be here while I'm doing it, because it makes me realize, again, like, I am doing this thing here. I'm making something in front of people, and I'm kind of nervous that it's not going to look good. Obviously, we're all, you know, if you think that I'm here going, oh, I'm going to make a great thing and I'm completely confident, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just doing it because, well, you know, kind of because Spirit tells me to do things. It says, go on there and show them people there and those beautiful sweet bees that they can all do things like this. We can all make magical little flowers, little trumpet flowers. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, we can. Okay. Yes, indeed. Even with cheap paint markers from the dollar store and a mason jar. And relaxing and like good for us, right? Okay. All right. So I think we will make our mushrooms a little bit of a different color on this side too. Maybe we'll take an idea from this one and make it blue and pink. Okay, so we already have the pink out, so we'll keep on with that. And we'll go on the underbelly of our little mushrooms with some pink. Okay, and we'll get the blue out. Light blue. This one here. This would be for your throat chakra, by the way. Pink, the pink one would be also for your heart. What else? Yellow is for your solar plexus, your confidence. Send you some magic with my magic wand for your confidence. That you too can do things like this. Just have fun with it. It's a mason jar, like I say. Just having fun with the artistic process. The therapy of doing this is clearly worth way more than a mason jar. And who knows, you might just end up with something that you love or that somebody that you know would love. You can give that gift to somebody of your great energy and the little bit of therapy that you actually got from it. So it's like such a win-win to just try. doing stuff and see what happens. There we go. And this one, like I said, those outlines were kind of scary. We put them on there and looked a bit messy. Didn't know how that was going to come out. Kind of like the scary music right there. But you just keep being brave. You just go through those woods of you know, self-doubt. Continue to be brave, and then you have something that looks a little bit more like a mushroom, and a little bit more like a mushroom. And then I think we'll just take those blue stalks all the way down. Maybe. We'll touch the black back up at the end, right? Because we didn't really know exactly what we were doing with that. I think we could use some, maybe we'll bring some of that lavender from the other side back over into here at the back, I think, as well. Seems like the thing to do. So lavender season here, I think, is in July, August in Ontario. There's beautiful lavender farms we can go visit. Pretty amazing. You can go have a picnic at a lavender farm. How abundant is that? I'm excited to color our little daisy. What color are we going to color our daisy in? We haven't used orange yet. Orange is for the solar plexus. That's our creative center. It's where we're so passionate from. Passion center. Okay, and this little guy. I'm gonna make a couple of those. Let's make another one of those. See that guy there? We'll make another one. And then we're gonna make some more lavender. So let's just create a few sticks up in the background here. We're gonna go. Are they coming up here? Yes. One through here. And then there. And one here. And another one there. And maybe one over here. A couple short ones. There. That's pretty good. Yeah, alright, okay. There we go. Now, an orange daisy? An orange daisy? Don't know if I've ever heard it. I guess a Gerber daisy could be orange. Anyway, it's our own fairy meadow. It can be anything we want. Hello. Hello, Matt. How are you? Welcome to the TreeHive in the sky, in the sacred fun room, where we remember that playing is important at any age. And I'm your woman wizard. Ooh, sending you out some cinematic music. It's reminding me to say, you know, like, it is kind of scary to come on here and create right in front of everybody and not know what I'm doing. And I'm no artist. I'm just playing. Like I said, I just got these stickers over here. This music is making me laugh. I gotta try to change it. Too serious. It's literally called Darkness. But it's interesting because it's making me think about how, you know, it's scary. It's scary to create. We got to come out of the darkness and make something new. And it's just like, it's a bit scary. But I'm here to remind us that we can all be pretty brave in that kind of stuff. This is too serious. Let's try something different. Oh, we got into some serious cinematics there. Okay. So I'm going to add more than one color to these little flowers. We're going to start with the orange. And then we're going to progress. I'm not sure how we're going to progress. Not sure. Unsure yet. But I think yellow is involved for sure. But I was also feeling like red might want to be involved. Unsure how exactly. This one here wants a little yellow dab in the center, obviously. And then these ones are saying yellow next, with a little shading in there, because, well, that's how it happened. Well, we're just creating our own little flowers here. Yeah, it's a reminder, you know, to enjoy even the feelings of like being a little scared to try stuff. Enjoy it because it means we're alive. It means we're alive in this magical planet Earth experience, and we're able to use our hands and our imaginations and make stuff and just like try stuff. How fun and abundant is that, really? I'm going to have a little sip of my pink lemonade, and I'm going to send some magic to you. By the way, if you didn't see it earlier, you can come back and see it later because the live will be posted. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share to all your magical friends and whimsy people that need a little more whimsy and silliness and playfulness in their life. And earlier, we made a color-changing elixir from this blue to this magenta. And if you want to find out how, go back later on the Mojo and Magic channel and check out that whole magic. Well, thank you. It is a lovely little scene, isn't it? Put some honey in here and some lemon. I'm sending this sweetness. Again, the balance of sweetness and sour, you know? We don't think about, sometimes we think sour is a bad thing too. No, no, no. It's the polarity. Everything is beautiful in the full spectrum. So nothing is wrong, nothing is bad. Everything is just as it is meant to be, and that is absolutely perfect. Sending some sparkles, some Reiki to whatever you're drinking right now as well. Friends and fellow wizards, let's get back to it. So these little flowers asked me if I would just do a wild thing and put a little pop of red at the end of them. So, okay, if he says so. Are you sure? I said, yes, please. Well, those are different. You know what they remind me of? They remind me of candy corn. Candy corn wanted to come in. Okay, all right. Our lavender. We can't forget about our lavender. Of course not. I feel like lavender does have more jaggedy edges. I'm gonna have to look at a real lavender plant, but I'm pretty sure they sort of have like, it's not fern-like exactly, but it is kind of fern-like. Oh yeah. This music is interesting. It's loud. But anyways, we're not gonna be here for too much longer. All we got left is our little lavender here. These ones were a little bit bigger than the first ones on the other side. These are the grand ones. Like I said, these are just really cheap paint pens, and yet look how much fun you can have just playing. with something that costs, you know, $5. Like this whole setup really costs about $5. So I'll say it's a lot of fun for $5. And anything, you know, anything can be done. You just kind of look at it. For me, anyways, the way I look at it is I look at it like a shape, and then I just draw a shape. And I mean, we learned to make shapes when we were little kids. I think we just forgot that we can do it. We just have to give it a go and see. How's that? Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, it's fun anyway. It's really about the fun. That is really what the important part is here. So look, we've made a whole little fairy meadow. A whole little fairy meadow we've made. We finish it off and put some grass around the end here. And actually this just looks like it wants to be something, right? Because it was part of the original glass. So we'll just add, maybe we'll make those red. Okay, we'll make them purple outline and then red. Ah, I hear you. I'm listening. And then we can add a few more leaves there too. And then that should be it for now. And like I said, I'll take some fine lines and come back in and clean it up. And then I'll show you the finished product another day. Okay, there's that. I was going to kind of clean that line up a little bit. And this one. And where were we? Over here. Okay. Some nice angelic tones. Well, y'all, sorry about that, but guess what? My battery is dying, so I'm gonna catch you next time. And thanks for sticking around. I appreciate you. I love you. And we're gonna come back and check out our jars another time really soon. We'll complete the process then. Okay? Much love and good night from the tree hive in the sky and the magical fairy meadow. All right. Glad I could find you. Bye for now. Love, 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 love you.